Okay, so now we're ready to mark the booster tube and put the fins on. Okay, so this is the booster tube. First thing we're going to do is take our sandpaper or scrubby and rough up the outside of the tube. Okay, now if it's easier for you to do it like this, that's fine. But we want to get that shiny wax scratched up. Okay, now the next thing we have to do is go back up to the top of that page of the instructions, and we need to cut out the tube marking guide. Alright, now I always rough cut it just to get it detached, and then I'll go back and fine tune it. Okay. Now, over here, we're going to put clear tape so that this edge overlaps this edge. That's why it's got hash marks on it. And I know you're wondering, why am I doing this on the tube? Great question. It's easier. Okay. It's easier to line things up on the tube and tape it when it's on the tube than to tape it and then try and slide it on the tube. Okay, clear tape, just like that. And you can see mine's off a little bit, not the end of the world. Okay. Now, what we've got to do is take our pencil or marker, whatever you're going to use, and we're going to mark where the lines are for the fins. Oh, yeah, I got them all. Okay. Now, here comes the fun part. You slide the tube off, okay, and you're going to go to the nearest door jamb. So in my case, it's right there. And what you do is you take your tube, okay, and you put on the door jamb and you turn it so that your pencil lines up with the mark you made, and you're using the door jamb as a straight edge, okay, to extend the mark. Does that make sense? All right, and then you just repeat that for all 3 lines. Okay. So now that that's done, we go back to our instructions. Okay, do not throw away this guide because we still need it for the body tube. So what I would do to make sure it's safe is just slide it right on the body tube right now. Okay? Now, we have to attach the fins. Okay? So it says before we attach the booster fins, we need to attach the rocket mount, engine mount rather. So by now our inside should be dry, and it'll just slide in and slide out. Honestly, I would put this piece inside after I have my wings done. Okay? And it doesn't really matter that we glue it in opposite order. As long as we do these steps generally the same amount of time, we're okay. Alright, so we're going to make sure that the end is even with this guy. And we can do that after we have the fins on. Okay, all you're going to do is put glue on the outside of each one, pop it in, and let it dry. But for me, I like doing that after the fins are on, just because I'm more comfortable with it. You do what's comfortable for you. Okay, like I said, as long as these steps happen in the general same amount of time, we're good. Alright, so now we have to get our fins, and we need 3 of them. Okay, and they're showing us to mount them like this. Alright, so see how the general shape matches. We've got a long point, comes in, alright, long extended side, and then this side is going to actually connect to the tubing. Okay, now they're showing that it comes down a little bit. Okay, you don't have to have the wing come exactly to this edge, but you do need to make sure that these fins or wings are all the exact same distance. Okay, and that is a challenge. Make no mistake, that is a challenge. Because then when it's done, you put it over here and you make sure that your wings are sticking out according to the diagram. Okay, that they're equal distance apart. So that guy won't work. That guy won't work. So what I'm trying to do is find to see if I have anything, and I don't, that'll go on the outside. So I'm going to have to rely on a ruler. And for me, I like easy measurements. Okay, really easy measurements. I don't like things complicated. So if I come in a centimeter from the top, that's going to be too much. But a ½ centimeter looks like it's going to work. So there's my mark. There's my ½ centimeter mark. There's the edge. Mark. ½ centimeter. And once more. half centimeter. Okay. Do not put boatloads of glue on the tube. That won't help you. Okay? Thin is best, and if you have to apply 2, that's fine. So, and this is where you got to really slow down and pay attention. Because if you do your wings in the wrong direction, you're not going to be happy. Okay? So I'm laying everything out again, making sure that my shapes match. Okay? Now, this is my glue edge. So I'm going to run a small line of glue down it. Okay? Then I'm going to line my tip up with the cross mark. And then I'm just going to let it sit here. Okay? Listen to your favorite song. Because you really need to let it sit here for at least a minute or 2 before you move on to the next wing. The next wing or the next fin. Okay? So you take the time that it takes you, but you want to wait about 2 minutes per side. Otherwise you risk this fin falling off when you're trying to glue the next one. Okay? So after you have all 3 fins on, then you're going, yeah, see it fell. After you have all 3 fins on, then put glue on the outside of the green legs and pop that in, and you'll be ready to move on to page 3.